Denzel Washington has broken his silence on the dark underbelly of Hollywood, revealing a world where power dynamics and corruption rule, and many are blacklisted for daring to speak the truth. His statements have shed light on the hidden mechanisms of an industry that operates in the shadows, where careers are destroyed, lives are manipulated, and sacrifices are made to maintain the status quo. Washington shared a chilling anecdote, reflecting on advice he'd received from an old colleague. "You leave the party 30 minutes before the devil gets there," he recalled, a cryptic yet poignant warning about Hollywood's dark side. This advice, as Washington explained, came from a deep understanding of the sacrifices and power struggles that define the entertainment industry. It's not just a business of art and talent. It's a battleground where the stakes are often unthinkably high. The mention of sacrifices has resonated deeply with many who believe Hollywood thrives on such practices. This sentiment is echoed by countless accounts from insiders who have spoken about the personal and professional costs of working within this sphere. Kanye West's tragic loss of his mother, Donda West, is frequently cited as an example of these so-called sacrifices. Kanye's later comments about feeling targeted, manipulated, and trapped within the system have only amplified these theories. His own admission that his mother's passing was no accident but rather part of a systemic exploitation has fueled discussions about the price of fame and success in Hollywood. In one of the most striking revelations, a mother recounted the tragic story of her son, who was working on his music career when he became entangled in the industry's dark web. After interning at Rock Nation, her son faced a chilling proposition, a sacrifice in exchange for fame. Despite her efforts to shield him, tragedy struck, and his life was cut short under mysterious circumstances. She moved her family to escape the inevitable, but even distance couldn't protect them. Her heartbreaking story underscores the pervasive and inescapable nature of Hollywood's darker elements. Kanye West's willingness to address the untimely death of his mother further underscores the industry's murky moral landscape. He openly stated that his mother's death was not natural, and implied that it was connected to systemic practices within the industry. His claims align with others who have suggested that loved ones are sometimes targeted, with or without consent, to uphold the system's power dynamics. Hollywood's pattern of blacklisting those who speak out against its inner workings is a recurring theme. Mel Gibson's career trajectory is a testament to this. Following his 2006 arrest and controversial remarks, Gibson's roles in major productions dwindled. But many believe his true downfall came from his outspoken criticism of child trafficking within the entertainment industry. Gibson's claims about systemic abuse have made him a controversial figure, but they've also inspired others to dig deeper into the hidden corners of Hollywood. The recent release of Sound of Freedom further amplified these concerns. The film's focus on child trafficking has reignited public discourse about Hollywood's potential complicity in such crimes. The film's star, Jim Caviezel, has faced his own share of ostracization within the industry, reportedly losing roles due to his association with these narratives. His experience mirrors that of Mira Sorvino, who claims her career stalled after rejecting advances from Harvey Weinstein. Sorvino's account, supported by filmmaker Peter Jackson's admission that Weinstein badmouthed her, paints a grim picture of how systemic abuse is often protected by powerful figures. Jaguar Wright, a former industry insider, has also been vocal about the darker realities of the music business. Her allegations against Diddy and Jay-Z have added another layer to the ongoing discussions about accountability within the industry. Wright's claims that both men engaged in predatory behavior and orchestrated the silencing of victims have sparked outrage and renewed calls for transparency. Diddy's recent legal troubles have only intensified scrutiny. The allegations brought forth by Cassie Ventura's lawsuit, detailing years of abuse and manipulation, highlight a culture of impunity that has long defined the industry. Diddy's swift settlement of the case has not quelled public interest, but rather fueled suspicions about the extent of his alleged misconduct. Jay-Z's silence amidst these revelations has also raised questions, with many wondering if he's implicated in similar practices. Tony Busby, the lawyer representing numerous alleged victims, has become a central figure in this unfolding saga. His complaints against Diddy and Jay-Z include harrowing accounts of drugging and assault at high-profile industry events, such as the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards after-party. According to the lawsuit, Both men are accused of exploiting their power to target and silence vulnerable individuals, often with the complicity of others in their circle. The music industry's culture of complicity extends beyond these two figures. Victims have described an environment where enablers and facilitators protect predators to maintain the status quo. The rise of movements like the Me Too has begun to challenge this culture, but progress remains slow and uneven. 50 Cent's decision to speak out against Diddy and Jay-Z is a bold move, given his own controversial history. While some view his actions as opportunistic, others see them as a necessary disruption to an industry that thrives on secrecy. 50's recent comments about Rihanna's early career and the circumstances of her signing with Def Jam have added fuel to the fire. He alleged that Rihanna was trafficked into the industry at a young age and subjected to exploitative practices that shaped her rise to fame. 50 Cent's critiques of Diddy's and Jay-Z's behavior have forced the public to reconsider the costs of success in the entertainment industry. His comments suggest that the music business, like Hollywood, operates on a system of leverage, control, and manipulation, where rising stars are often exploited by those at the top. The broader implications of these allegations are staggering. They underscore the urgent need for systemic reform within the entertainment industry. While some progress has been made in addressing abuses of power, much work remains to be done to protect artists and hold perpetrators accountable. For example, whistleblowers like Jaguar Wright have called for stricter regulations and better protections for victims, pointing to the systemic failures that allow predators to operate unchecked. As more individuals come forward with their stories, the industry faces a reckoning that could redefine its future. The courage of whistleblowers like Jaguar Wright and victims like Cassie Ventura is inspiring others to break their silence, creating a ripple effect that could lead to meaningful change. Advocates are calling for greater transparency, the dismantling of power structures that protect abusers, and the establishment of industry-wide guidelines to prevent exploitation. For now, the spotlight remains on figures like Diddy and Jay-Z, whose legacies hang in the balance. Their ability to navigate these allegations and address their actions will shape how history remembers them. But one thing is clear: the days of silence and complicity are numbered, and the world is watching as Hollywood's darkest secrets come to light. The revelations about Hollywood and the music industry's underbelly have also sparked broader conversations about the role of accountability in entertainment. Some believe these allegations represent the tip of the iceberg, with more figures likely to face similar scrutiny in the coming years. The industry's systemic issues, ranging from predatory practices to the silencing of dissent, have been allowed to persist for decades. But as the veil lifts, the need for structural change becomes impossible to ignore. Many are calling for a complete overhaul of the industry's power dynamics. This includes not only addressing the actions of individuals like Diddy and Jay-Z, but also examining the institutions and networks that enable their behavior. Advocacy groups are pushing for the creation of independent oversight bodies to investigate allegations and hold powerful figures accountable. Others argue for the implementation of mandatory ethics training and anti-harassment policies across the entertainment industry. The courage of those who have come forward is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Despite the immense pressure to stay silent, whistleblowers and survivors are forcing a long overdue reckoning. Their bravery is a reminder that change is possible, even in the face of entrenched power structures. The entertainment industry may never be the same, but perhaps that's precisely what it needs to finally address its darkest secrets and move toward a more equitable future.